Hello and what is up, Bold Crew? Before we get to the podcast that you are here to listen to, I just want to make a special announcement. The Twin Cities by Night crew has decided to add an additional member to the gang. What does that entail? That means that not only will you be able to potentially play in a future Demon the Fallen game that we will be running for our podcast and YouTube series, but you'll also be able to become part of the gang and be involved in future podcasts and other games that we may have going on the channel. So how can you apply for this? First, you'll need to stop by our Discord that you can find in this podcast description and get details on how to apply. We'll be accepting applications until September 30th, 2018, and from there we'll make a decision. We will let you know if you're the one who will become part of the Twin Cities by Night gang. I hope to see you all there. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to us on that same Discord. Good luck. Now I bring to you the feature podcast. Warning. The following podcast contains violent scenes that may be unsettling to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, and welcome to Changing the Lost Vanity. Vanity is a first edition Chronicles of Darkness game set in southern Florida during the year 1993. Follow Katrina, played by Tillman, Raymond, played by Chris, Isabel, played by Andrew, Frank, played by Slavic, and Adam as a storyteller, as they uncover the mysteries of the true Fae and forge new paths for themselves in a world of beauty and madness. Follow us on Twitter at twin_cities_VTM for channel updates, and we hope you enjoy this episode.
You're just holding Melissa by the neck at this point, and she just is looking at you with this scared expression, and she just looks like she's about to speak, and she goes to talk, and just like nothing really comes out. Her windpipe is just too constricted right now. And she goes to say something, and it's just this guttural, just.
People died because of this, you know.
And she just goes to speak again, and just nothing comes out, and you just see that she's starting to like lose consciousness a little bit from the tightness of your grip around her neck.
Probably like gonna let loose a little bit, but still hold her. Just probably put her on the ground.
And you see Ronnie, and he's freaking out. He's like shaking his hands. He's like pacing back and forth. He doesn't know what to do. He looks like he wants to jump in and help her, but he also just saw how hard you punched her, how she nearly went through the wall and blood came out of her mouth, and he's not going to fuck with you. And he's just looking, and he's just like, oh, stop.
Well, then talk.
Charlie used to do this thing. He had some friends. They would go out. They would scare people. They called themselves something. I don't know. Just let her go, please.
Well, tell me more.
Okay, so they were doing this thing. They would go out. They would put this mask on, and they would take turns scaring people. And they called it this thing. I don't know. They made it up. It's a swamp daddy or something like that. It's just this character. They came up with him, okay? And they'd put the mask on. They would each take turns, and they'd go out and scare people just for kicks, just for glamour. Well,
yeah, and
Charlie started getting real weird. He didn't want to hang out with those guys anymore. He was worried that the type of stuff that they were into was too closely related to them. He was getting too deep into it, and he wanted to get out.
Okay. And who are these friends?
He never told us who else was part of the group. He said he couldn't. He said they would kill him if he did, but he said that he was going to be in big trouble if he left. He said that if he left, they were going to do something bad to him. They were going to make it so he couldn't even control what he did anymore. They made this thing. It's a swamp daddy. It's its own thing now. It's none of them wear the mask. It wears the mask itself. It goes out.
The what?
The Swamp Daddy. It's their thing. It's their character. They put the mask on, and they go out into the people's houses, and they scare him with this character. They make it so that people tell the stories about him, and the stories made him real. The stories made him a real thing. He's its own thing now. None of them wear the mask. He just goes out on his own.
This is bad.
Charlie said it. Charlie said something like this was going to happen.
Why didn't you tell us?
He made me promise.
I'm really angry now.
He said one of those guys was going to put a spell on him if you ever fucked with them again. We didn't think they could really do it. Melissa is just like, Ronnie, shut up. Just trying to talk and just like holding her neck.
Frank will sort of, start choking her, and again, it's just like,
Stop!
let him
Stop!
talk.
Let her go! Please, that's it. That's it. Look, just let us get out of here. We'll never bother you again. Please, just let us go. And you see him. He's just like shaking and just like he's crying. He's very much crying. He just wants to get out of here, and he feels like you are gonna kill both of them right now.
So Frank is gonna walk up to him and, you can go after you promise me something.
What is it? What do you want?
Well, I think this whole problem is also partly your fault. The way, we didn't have the whole information, and it's just Manny's completely went through a lot of things, because of this, because of you. I think it's only fair that you're going to help us when the time comes. So I want you to promise me that when the time comes and when we need help most, you're going to come and you're going to pledge this on your life.
What?
No, you're going to pledge this on her life.
And you just see, and he just looks at you, and without even any words, you just see this like submission in his eyes as he yields to you, and you feel the weird just rise up within you. And he just looks out at you, just very defeated expression, and just extends a hand, and you go to shake his giant stony arm.
It's a deal.
Now let us both leave.
You can go.
And he just runs over to Melissa and just puts her arm around his shoulder and just starts to make his way towards the door. And then you see him, he just turns the knob, swings it open, and goes to drag her out. And you see Joe just still standing in the doorway, just very shocked expression on his face, just staring at you, almost horrified. And he just goes, Frank, what was that?
Some very bad.
Who are those people? That woman? Did you do that to her? And you just see him, and he takes a step back from you, like you're gonna do something to him or something.
John, I didn't do that to her. I didn't. She did that to herself.
Frank, are you okay? Are you in some kind of trouble, son? You know I'd help you any way I can, son.
John, those people, they have big problems, and I always try to help them, but sometimes, some people are beyond saving.
And he looks at you kind of confused, and he's just like, how did you get involved with these people, Frank? What is this? What are you into?
Well, I'm not into anything, but those people, well, they're just into drugs and everything, and I caught them, just walking into my apartment.
Oh, Jesus.
Frank, if they wanted to
call
kill
the police?
No, I think it's okay.
Frank, this sounds really bad. Why don't you let me call the police? You should at least report this.
I don't know. I don't like the police. They always ask me so many questions, and I don't know what to tell them.
Okay, son. All right. Well, it just made me worry. That's all. You see, Joe's door is peeked open a little bit, and you see Patricia kind of standing in the frame of the doorway, wearing a nightgown, and her long white hair just kind of over her shoulders as she looks out, and Joe just sees her in the door frame and just says, Patricia, go back to sleep. It's all right, sonny. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep my ears on, and if they come back, I'm gonna call the police. I don't want any trouble in the building.
Of course, John. Thanks. You're a good man.
Okay. All right, son. And he puts his hand on your shoulder, and he just turns and goes back inside. And you hear Patricia just, "What was it?" And he's just like, just go back inside. It's nothing. Some vagrants must have broken into the building or something. It's all right. Frank dealt with them." And they go back into their apartment, and you hear the door shut, and you hear the TV just turn off, and you can hear them moving around and stuff, like they're not just going straight back to bed, and you hear them talking a little bit, but not really anything you can make out. And you see Fluffy. She's just still like, at this point she's ran into a room and underneath a like underneath something, because
Probably underneath the bed. That's
yeah,
how I
because
imagine it.
she's freaked out by all that.
Yeah. I imagine Frank just, going into the fridge and getting a piece of salami out or something, and just
taking a bite of a salami stick.
and just giving some to Fluffy, just make her feel better.
And things are quiet again.
Yeah.
Let's jump to Katrina again for a second. You're in this blackness right now, as you are trying to hop between dreams into, well, you're just focusing on Raymond. You're trying to see if you can maybe tap into his dream, or to just go where he is. And you think about him, and you concentrate on him, and you meditate on him as your astral body floats. And you start to just see this line in the blackness, and you drift closer to it and closer to it, and then you get close enough to just see it completely, and it's just a snake just spiraling in the blackness, just making patterns, just moving in figure eights and coils, and just dancing in the dream. And it comes close to you, and it circles you, and without it speaking, you're able to hear it, and it tells you, or you hear this inside of your subconscious: I can give you what you want. I can take you where you need to go. It's going to cost you something, though. It's going to cost you one happy memory. When you give me this memory, it will be mine forever. This is something for me to keep. This is something you will not get back. And it's just spiraling around you, up and down, floating high above you, floating far beneath you. Do you wish to make this trade? It's like you're talking to yourself, the way that you can hear this in your subconscious.
Yeah. Can I formulate a role out of that somehow? Like, how scared would Katrina be? Is that like a composure role, maybe?
Yeah,
Resolve composure.
Let's do resolve composure. That sounds good.
Okay.
Do +1 since you had the nightcap and you're deep into this state of being.
I have 2 successes.
This is very strange to you, but you feel like you understand somehow.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like the changeling part of you understands this language of just things must be paid for. And even the most abstract things can have value, such as a memory. You get a feeling that this thing is alien. It's other. It might be one of them. It might be a familiar or a servant of one of them. You're not really sure, but this thing, it's part of them in a way. It's connected to them. It's of them, at the very least.
I want to try to formulate a question and ask it who it is.
So the moment you think about asking it that, it hears you, and it just says, "Do you not know who I am? Do you not recognize what this is?
I have never met you before."
You've never met me. Perhaps you have. Perhaps I just looked a little bit different to you. And then you just see it, and it just changes shape to be something you remember from your durance. Not your keeper, but just some type of creature that was part of your durance. And you look at it, and it confuses you, because for a second you thought maybe this is going to reveal itself to me as my keeper. Maybe this is him all along. But it's like it got part of it right, but it just didn't have the full picture. And then it changes back into a snake and it says, or perhaps maybe not. Will you pay? Will you give me this memory? Will you have it be mine forever? Your own voice to you in your head. Would you be willing to part with it? Is it to save your friend?
You're giving me one small glimpse for something that you can have forever.
I'll take you there to him. There you can both be forever. And it starts to wrap around you. What do you say? Will you come with me? Will you dance with me?
I'm wondering how rational Katrina is about this. Because obviously, as a player, I know, that's a bad idea.
Yeah. So as it coils around you, there's something tempting about it. It feels good. It's this cold embrace that just is somehow comforting as it just coils around you like a hug, like something welcoming. But in the back of your head, deals with things of this nature, they're tricky. You know that they're deceiving.
He's here with you, isn't he?
He's in this place. I watch over him now.
So
he has returned home, and you can return home too. This could be your one true home. This could be your final home.
I'm gonna say, like, on an emotional level, that makes perfect sense to Katrina. Like, yeah, this is the place where we really belong. So she accepts.
And what is the memory that you're going to offer up to this alien thing?
What exactly is a memory? Like, how is that?
So, basically, what this thing wants is to take a happy memory that you have, and that memory won't be yours anymore. It will be this thing's. You won't have that anymore as a happy memory. And you'll have to think of what that memory is, and hopefully this thing will accept. But you get the sense that the way that this works is this: as soon as you can think of the one that you're going to offer up, that is your offering to it. And so you, Katrina, are searching your brain. Maybe there's a memory that's happy enough that it'll work for this, that I won't feel lost without.
Yeah, I think I have one. Like at the very start of the Chronicle, we had this character, her dance partner, and he asked her out on a date, and she declined. But I think she declined because two reasons. One of them, she felt it was like out of place to be dating with him when they are dance partners on tournaments and working at the dancing school. And also obviously because she's changeling and it just feels weird to her. And, but at the same time, I guess in the back of her head, she had this happy sensation that, well, she is being wanted and she's being accepted as, well, still human, even though she's playing it up a bit, like Raymond always says.
The second that thought comes into your head, it replays before you, all of it, and you just hear and feel just no longer your voice, just this slithering, just terrible voice, just inhuman voice that just says, "Not good enough. Dig deeper." The way that the words just trail and just linger, and they just leave you with this chill as she says that. Go back farther. I want you to tell me the time you were the most happy, and that will be mine forever. You start to think about your childhood a little bit, but
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But
part of you stops, like, no, you can't have that. Like, it's part of you is saying, no, this is all I have left.
Ooh, that's tough.
I'll let you think about that for a little bit, and I want to jump to Isabel. So, Isabel, you are in a pretty deep sleep in your apartment right now.
Okay.
You are lucid dreaming without any real like purpose or destination right now. You're just kind of like lost in your own dreams at this moment. And can you just like describe to me like what you're dreaming right now? This is just something from your own memory, your own subconscious. Just what is the dreamscape that Isabel is experiencing right now?
Isabel is a sentimental type. Deep down, she really wants to go back to the way things were before she was taken, when she was a kid, when she still had, her parents, when she still had a family. So Isabel will oftentimes dream about a childhood memory of her at like one of her birthday parties that her mom just like went all out, and she had a bunch of friends over, and how just everybody was there just to, and she just had like her first real kind of experience as someone that was like, loved, because before it was just always just there's so much pressure on her and her family, and those first carefree kind of moments she ever really had. So she just kind of goes back to that at times, when she dreams, if they can focus themselves on a specific, kind of dream if they want. And so she'll just kind of like bring up those childhood memories of just being carefree and not having, and it's a nice dichotomy to everything that's going on now, all this stress and this bullshit that's going on. So it's like one of those times where she can just sit there and just be like, you know, whenever I was a kid, this is my favorite thing. And I just had this nice little birthday party, and my mom was just so caring and kind, and just kind of like that panging in her heart of like, I miss my family.
And so you're pretty much like a very, I would say like a trained dreamer almost. Do you kind of just live in these memories when you can, as like somewhat of an escape?
Only when she sleeps.
Yeah, yeah.
Not like during the day and everything. She
okay.
focuses on the now.
Because
But
that is something you would like. That is something potentially you could do. Like you could just become totally immersed in these sort of like dream fantasies of other times of what could have been, of
yeah,
stuff
if
like
you haven't
that.
caught on, like her thing is escapism.
Yeah, that's very cool. And so like I imagine that in this dream you are the center. You are the little kid sitting down at the table blowing out the candles on the cake. You're not just a spectator.
Yeah, it's
You're
her
able
when
to
she's like
be the live there.
12,
Yeah.
and she has like a bunch of friends from school over, and they're just, having a nice little, kid's birthday party, and she's just having the time of her life.
Very nice. That's actually really cool. So, you see this cake come out before you and everybody's singing and you see all your friends, and this is a day that's about you, and it's just so rare that anybody gives you this type of appreciation. It's been so long since somebody just focused on you, since people,
I started
people
looking
that,
at her sexually shortly thereafter.
yeah.
It started getting weird and just awkward for her growing up, and just having people who just wanted to get something from her in a way that she couldn't even really understand.
Yeah, so like this is like a memory of a time where you were still seen of as a person, as innocent and not just this object of desire. And nowadays when people show you attention, a lot of times it's because they're captivated by this beauty that you have and stuff like that. But this is just like a very pleasant memory, and you start to become more self-aware as you dwell in this dream. You start to become more aware of yourself now, and no longer are you this little girl that's sitting in the chair blowing out the candles as the people sing to you. Now you're just you now there. You're in your fame means, and they don't look at you the same way. Their faces change to disgust. Some of their faces change to desire. These are your friends and your family. They love you. Why are they changing the way that they feel about you here? And this dream is starting to go sour a little bit, and you just start to just feel this drain of energy, like a battery dying, and just the sounds of the singing just become just out of tune and just distorted, and this whole thing just starts to become very distorted, and their faces change, and they're starting to just twist, and things are starting to just melt, and everything is just sort of becoming wrong, and you wake up in bed.
Oh, wow. Okay, I was gonna.
Oh, if you want to keep going with that, absolutely.
I was gonna say that
100%.
she would just be kind of be internally like 'cause she's self-aware. She'd be like, no, 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 and she would try to will it to be different because she can shape dreams of others. She's gonna try and shape her own dreams. She's gonna try and force it to be the way she wants. It's kind of her kind of that need to control is gonna be shining through here. At least she's gonna try.
So you start rapidly trying to fix this, and it's like you're in a boat with a hole in it, and you're just trying to scoop the water out with a cup or something like that. It's you're trying to fix it, and it's just degrading at a point where it's hard for you, but you're just giving everything you can to just change it, and you say no, 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 this isn't going to be like this. Not here. This is my place, and this isn't going to be like this, and you just keep doing it and doing it, and eventually things just snap back into that peaceful, happy birthday, but it's right again, but it's tainted by what happened, where you see it the way that you wanted to see it. You were able to will it back into the way that you believe it should be, and it just doesn't really appeal to you in this moment anymore. It's just no longer a beautiful image. You were able to fix it from corruption, but it's still sickening. And so instead of waking up in like a type of cold sweat or in a panic, you sort of wake up in a sense of just like you decided to walk back in a way, like figuratively. You just, this dream stopped delivering what it was supposed to, even when you willed it back into showing what it is supposed to be. And you're just sick of it, and you just go back and you wake up.
Is it like still the middle of the night?
Yeah, it's like 1 a.m. and you're just awake. Frustrated because you didn't really get to actually sleep all too well.
I think that Isabel would probably she might get up and like maybe get herself a drink of water and then like lay back down just fitfully, not really resting, but still trying to until she can fall back asleep.
Yeah, so you walk into the bathroom and you get a cup and you fill it up with some water from the sink and take a big drink, and you kind of look at yourself for a second and everything is okay. And you go back down and you sit back down on the bed and you take a deep breath. I'm going to leave you there for a second. Raymond, you are trudging along through the hedge right now. Complete darkness in front of you. The humming of crickets just louder and louder as you try to press on in, not sure of any direction, just moving what to you is forward. And you hear the rattle of these bones as you kind of step over them and, occasionally crunching a few underneath your heels. And you just keep pressing on into the pitch darkness. What's going on in your head right now?
He's feeling more determined probably than he had before. You know what I mean? Like this is, like I said, this is his unspoken suicide pact with himself right here. This is how he wants to go out. He's like literally in his head, he's accepted that this is it. There's no leaving here. There's no coming out of here. So he might as well almost treat it like a kamikaze and just kind of see what he can do to fix what's going on, because he's also accepted that no one's probably ever going to find out about any of this. You know what I mean? Like no one's going to do like what Katrina's doing, or you know what I mean? Or what Frank has found out or anything like that. So he's just going to try to do what he can. And I guess he's also hoping in his, that's a good question too, because I guess there's also two other things he's thinking about. One, he's hoping in his head that Katrina remembers like him mentioning his daughter and like goes and tries to like somehow find his daughter, fix his daughter, see if she's even there, or uses that as some kind of like anchor to stay sane on like he was unable to, And then two, he's probably having I don't mean like literal flashbacks, but like he's probably thinking about when he stepped into the hedge the first time, when he was like trying to hide the body of his wife and her lover, and was just like kind of in a state of panic. But this time he's not panicked. You know what I mean? He's like feels more collected, and he's just maybe like thinking about the irony, how like him with his dead wife and her lover and him trudging in the swamps in a panic state trying to hide the bodies, hoping that the wildlife consumes them or whatever. He was able to inadvertently become a prisoner of someone, and now when he's like determined and driven and wants to find something, he's walking around and not being found. You know what I mean? So like he finds the irony in his head. He's not missing the irony in his head of the whole situation.
And as you keep going, you aren't really able to tell how long this has been. You're just kind of like alone with your thoughts, really. And you don't know if this is minutes or hours. It's a strange feeling. It's not like any other type of waiting. It's just this place is different. It's like the air is different. And you keep pushing forward, and you start to see like what appears to be some kind of maybe light that's coming from somewhere. And as you make your way towards that, you can sort of start to see the things around you become more illuminated. You're able to actually see the vines. You're able to like actually see your steps, you're able to see 10 feet in front of you, to the point where you're not just constantly getting this, bombardment of branches and vines against your face and brushing things past. And you start to smell the smoke of a fire, like wood burning, like a campfire or something like that. And this to you indicates there's something this way.
I guess I'm going to slowly make my way towards it. I mean, and in all reality too, like I wouldn't want to try to be sneaky because, like I said, he's kind of accepted. You know what I mean? Like, so he's probably filled with more bravado than he's ever been. You know what I mean? So he's probably just gonna like not like walk up there like, "Hey, I'm Raymond," and try to be all, you know what I mean, like chest pounding. But he's gonna walk up there, and he's not gonna really try to hide that he's walking up there, because fuck it, what's the point of hiding here when these things can control everything here? It's just kind of pointless. You're playing into their game when you do that. So I'm just gonna walk up towards this fire.
So you just keep making your way towards where that light is and where that smell of the smoke is coming, and things become more illuminated the closer you get to this burning fire. And once you're at the point where you can finally just hear the crackling of the flames, and you can just really see the smoke billowing and get just really fully sense that fire, you come across this hill made out of like branches and stuff like that, and you're able to just kind of peek over it, and you see this small hut, and it's not like a human house. It's like something that somebody made with like sticks and just mud, and it's just like a hut, and it looks like the size of a person could fit in there, but you're not really sure who that belongs to.
I'm about to find out. So I'm going to walk up to it, and I'm going
There's
to...
something comforting to you about it, though, because it's a place and it's a fire, and that fire just kind of calls out to the ancient human inside of you that is just like fighting for survival right now. And you see that fire, and it's welcoming.
Yeah, I'm definitely walking towards it while just kind of seeing if there's anyone by the fire.
Give me a wits and composure.
2 successes.
You get the sense that this place is quiet. Whatever the thing that inhabits this is not here right now. And you're even able to kind of peek inside this hut, and you see a assortment of belongings, boxes, various things, but you don't see any signs of any kind of life in there.
Oh, so does it look like it was recently, like someone had recently been in there? I mean, I take it there's a fire,
there's a
right?
fire, so you do get the vibe that this is like somebody's site, and they must have been here recently enough to get a fire going, but where they are now, you're not sure.
So Raymond's going to sit down. I'm going to sit down and like stare at the fire, and I'm going to wait. You know what I mean? And it's better than the walking, and maybe collect my thoughts, look around the room.
It feels nice when you're sitting down there, You didn't really consider that you might be cold or anything like that, but the warmness of this fire feels great. And you put your hands out and you just take it in and you just watch the glow, and it kind of is mesmerizing in a way. And you begin to feel yourself get pretty comfortable, as comfortable as you can be in this situation. Relieved is probably a better way to put it. And you look around this kind of, it's almost a campsite, you know? There's the shelter here, and then there's the fire here, and you see like various boxes. You see like a stump with like an axe and some wood next to it, and you see like a satchel that appears to be like open a little bit, and you can see some tools hanging out, and you get the vibe that this is just somebody's campsite, and like whatever they are, they're human enough to have a fire. They're human enough to cut wood, to use tools. It's not like, hopefully not like one of those creatures like you saw before, the snake with the head of a woman. This has to be something more human than that. And you start to look around a little bit more, and you see more tools laying about. You see wood. You see something that sort of makes you jump for a second.
What's that?
It looks like an arm. It's a small arm.
I'm taking the axe out of the wood right now.
You take the axe out and you take 2 steps closer to look at what you think you might have seen. You initially are thinking that's a child's arm, and you get close enough to see that it's made of plastic. There's a piece of it missing, and it's completely hollow inside.
Man, got me scared there. I'm like gonna move it with my foot, and I'm just gonna kind of look around and continue to look around, but definitely holding this axe in my hand as protection, just from that initial shock, of seeing the arm there.
And as you look in the area of the arm, you see an open trunk, and you can see like a few different things hanging out of it. You see like some rope, some materials, fabrics, canvas. You see various spools of thread. You see branches, you see leaves, you see all types of stuff. And can you go ahead and give me a intelligence and occult roll, and your true fae specialty applies.
1 success.
A terrible thought crosses your mind as you start to rifle through these things, and you begin throwing them as you're searching through this to try to see what's inside of this box. And you realize these are tools. These are the components for making something not of this world. These are the tools, the reagents to make a fetch. Whatever you have found here has been making fetches. And as you continue rifling through this trunk and throwing different sorts of materials and fabrics to the side, you come across something that it's very jarring when you reach in and touch it. It's slimy. It's warm. It feels unnatural. It feels wrong. And you immediately jump back as your hand touches it. And when you look inside, it appears to be a heart of something. I don't know if human, beast, what, but it's just living matter that is inside of here now. Not just dolls, not just tools. There's a piece of flesh. There's a piece of somebody's inner circuitry that is really inside of this chest.
Yeah. Raymond came to conclusion right now. He's going to turn around and go to that campfire. Like try to, I don't know if there's like something that's on fire in there, like a log, I don't even know. Or he's going to find something that's flammable, and he's going to like probably take some of that burlap and wrap it around a you know what I mean, a stick or some shit, and just start that shit on fire. And then he's going to go and just like, someone's going to come home to either see me set this thing on fire, that's hut of theirs and everything that is around it, or they're going to come home to it on fire as I walk off with the axe, by the way, not letting that axe go.
Hello, folks. Have you ever wished you could have an easy way to find gameplay videos and podcasts or just media in general that deals with your favorite White Wolf role-playing games? Or have you ever wished you could find a forum to share gameplay that you have recorded, one which wouldn't be drowned out by random posts and discussion, so that your media could get the attention you want? Well, we have the answer for you in a Facebook group we run called White Wolf RPGs Gameplay and Media. The group is specifically ran with the sole intent of it being a one-stop shop for people to view or share media involving the games we all love. We take thorough steps to ensure the page does not become cluttered and is easy to traverse. We are currently over 1,000 members strong, and we are continuing to rapidly grow with new media being shared every day. Stop on by. We hope to see you there. High Level Games, the industry's first choice in taking your games to the next level. We are a podcast blog and new media network at highlevelgames.ca. We have blog posts about all of your favorite games going up 5 days a week, and a podcasting network with actual plays and shows that discuss role-playing games, with more rolling out all the time. We are on iTunes, Twitch, and YouTube. Find out more information at highlevelgames.ca, a site that certainly isn't controlled by a shadowy board of directors of otherworldly origin. That's highlevelgames.ca.
Please, help. They're coming.
The Los Angeles metropolitan area is constantly growing and changing. The Central District is full of new buildings. The Hollywood and Wilshire districts, once far from downtown, now are part of a which spreads past Beverly Hills and out to the ocean. But why is all this going on in Los Angeles? Why is Los Angeles an exploding city?
Neon Masquerade.
The Demon's Mirror.
13 Candles.
3 Chronicles running through the undead veins of the City of Angels.
The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers Actual Play podcast invites you to drink deeply.
Go to eorpodcast.com and search the duets tag to find out more.